Alright, we are continuing with Chapter 4, Section 3. What we're going to do is we're going to practice sketching each of these angles. Then we're going to talk about this concept called the reference angle. Okay? So what I need you guys to do right now, in your journal, make an X and a Y axis. You'll notice right here, we are in degrees right here, because you can see the degrees symbol. So we're in degrees. Right here, I want you to understand, this theta is going to be in radians. So right now, this is theta in degrees, and this right here is theta in radians. We're going to make a sketch of these. Now, over here in degrees, I'm going to start with 0. Then I'm going to go to 90. Then 180. And down here we're going to write 270 degrees. Now, it's been a while. You're sketching angles, but when you start in standard position, this is where you start. Right here, this side is your initial side. So I'm going to write initial side. Your x-axis will always be your initial side for when it says sketch your angle. Then, from there, you're going to rotate this 330 degrees positive, which means positive means you're going counterclockwise. How many degrees have I gone? 90, 180, 270. Oh man, I should have written initial side somewhere else, because right over here, how many more degrees do I have to go? I have to go 60 more degrees. Let's just pretend right there, from here all the way around, from this initial side all the way around, is 330 degrees. So theta was 330 degrees. And we're asking you to find what's called the reference angle. So what is a reference angle? Two things you need to know about all reference angles. One, your answer will always be positive. You're never going to have a negative reference angle. So whatever you get, your answer, your reference angle will always be positive. Number two, you always form the angle with the x-axis. Form angle with the x-axis. Right, okay, what does that mean? So, right now, I'm going to highlight this in orange, right here. This little sliver right here is your reference angle, because that is formed from here. This is going with the x-axis. So this angle right in here is how many degrees? 30. That's 30 degrees. So your reference angle for this problem, the answer is 30 degrees. Now, where did this reference angle end up? This ended up in what? Quadrant number 4. So this angle, 330 degrees, ended up in quadrant 4. So our reference angle was 30 degrees. We're going to go over the 4 quadrants and what to do in each of the quadrants. So right now, I'm going to pause and we're going to make our quadrants. Alright, what we're going to be doing right now is going over the rules for reference angles. Our starting right here, theta, when you start out, is going to be, has to be between 360 degrees and 0 degrees. So this number right here is going to be positive. So right now, give me a number between 0 degrees and 90 degrees. Any value for theta. Go ahead. 15. Oh my goodness. We got 15 and 45. Well, I'll do my best to draw a 15-degree angle. Good thing I have a protractor. All right, we're going to go put that right there. Hey, I didn't make it bad 90 degrees. I can just move it now. All right. 15 degrees. Wow. That's about 15. So put a point right there. So right here, if I were to make a 15-degree angle, okay? So if I said theta was equal to 15 degrees, what's the reference angle?
45.
That's a good guess. Actually, that's a good guess. I think I see where you're thinking coming from. Right now, honestly, the first quadrant's the easiest. If theta is equal to 15 degrees, your reference angle is equal to 15 degrees. So what's your reference angle? If it's in the first quadrant, whatever your angle is, and you're done.
That's just how it is in the first quadrant.
For the first quadrant, that's the rule. The rule is, for this one, your answer is theta. If you start with theta, your answer is theta in the first quadrant. Okay? Now we're going to go to quadrant number 2. So right now we're going to do some estimating. Give me an angle between 90 and 180. What do you guys want? 120? Alright, let's go to 120. So let's say that's 90. We go an additional 30 degrees. Let's say that's about 120, which means, what if we started with, right here, this from here to there, we started with what? 120 degrees. Okay, I'm going to go back. So if we had 120 degrees, if that's what we started with, our reference angle is going to be this. Yes. So right here, from here to there, our reference angle for this one equals 60 degrees. Here's the rule. In quadrant 2, it's just 180 minus theta. What was theta in our particular case? It was 120. So 180, I'm going to put the box around here so you guys know what to remember. In quadrant 1, it's just theta. In quadrant 2, it's 180 minus theta. What if I rotate all the way around and put it right here, all the way around right here? What if I said theta was equal to 200 and let's say 25 degrees? Okay? 225 degrees. If theta was equal to 225. Your reference angle is going to be this angle right in here. This is your reference angle. Right in there. How many degrees do you guys think this is going to be? That's a good guess. Actually, what we're going to do right now, we want to know what this reference angle is.
45.
It is 45 degrees. You are going to do, here's the rule, theta minus 180. That's the rule if it's in the third quadrant. Okay? So in the third quadrant, it's theta minus 180. What's 225 minus 180? 45 degrees. Sorry? Alright, and last but not least, what if we finish right over here and we finish right there, and I say all the way around, I say theta is equal to 330 degrees. You guys were able to get that pretty quickly. What was that answer? 30, right? That was 30 degrees. So our reference angle was 30 degrees. Here's the rule. 360 minus theta. That's the rule for quadrant number 4. Remember, theta has to be between. And I'll put all of our reference angles in green. The first reference angle was 15 degrees. The second one was 60 right there. The third one, I'm going to trace over it, that's 45, and the last one right here was 30. Okay. So these are the 4 rules. Quadrant 1, Quadrant 2, Quadrant 3, Quadrant number 4. Now let's look at problem number 8. Number 8. Is number 8 in degrees or is it in radians? Radians, okay? So if number 8 is in radians, we got to find the reference angle in radians. Well, what's easier to work in, radians or degrees? Degrees, right? So what I want you guys to do right here, we're going to make a little sketch. I'm going to call this 0 pi, which is still 0 degrees. I'm going to call this pi over 2, which is 90 degrees. This is pi, which is also known as 180 degrees. And this is 3 pi over 2, which is the same as saying 270 degrees. Right. So whenever you're working in radians, we know it's not degrees because there's what? There's no degree symbol right there. So I'm going to write the word radians right next to it. We need to learn how to convert this to degrees if we get stuck. Okay? Because some of you may know where negative 3 pi over 4 radians is on the graph. Some of you may not. So we're going to change this to degrees. So we're going to take negative 3 pi over 4, and we're going to multiply by 180 over pi. And that will take us from radians to degrees every single time. Because these pi's will cancel out. And when they cancel out, what's negative 3/4 times 180? What does that eventually become? It becomes a negative 135 degrees. So how would I graph negative? How would I sketch negative? We got to go backwards, right? Which means we're going actually not counterclockwise. We're going to be going clockwise. So here we go. Standard position, still right here. Here's standard position. That's where we're starting. But now we're not going to go counterclockwise. We're not going to go in a positive direction. Where are we going to go? We're going to go in a negative direction. Let's go. Hold on. Back up here. Go. We're going to go negative 90. And we're going to go an additional negative 45 degrees, which fits right about there. So from here to here, everybody, when it says sketch the angle, I've just sketched it. This is negative 135 degrees, also known as negative 3 pi over 4 radians. So now that I've made that sketch, we're going to find our reference angle. I'm going to highlight what it is. This measurement right here, this is our reference angle right there. How many degrees would that be? If this is negative 135, what does this have to be right here? 45 degrees. So this right here, our reference angle, everybody, for number 8, our reference angle is equal in degrees, it's equal to 45 degrees. But if I start in radians, I want to finish in radians. So how do I take 45 degrees and change it back to radians? That's when I have to take pi over 180 and multiply it. And that will give me, eventually, 45 divided by 180 gives you 1/4. So your answer is pi over 4. So the final answer for number 8, when you convert it back to radians, is pi over 4 radians. That's your answer. Now, you're going to have some homework tonight. I'm going to explain to you exactly what your homework is. Besides doing the front page, you have one more thing of homework that everybody needs to do, and you're going to be very angry but very thankful later. Okay? I want you guys to look on the back page. Okay? This right here, I am telling you, you want to have this as a reference. Because what did I say pi over 4 was equal to? I said pi over 4 is equal to
45.
Look at that. Right here. Pi over 4 is 45 degrees. What did I say 3 pi over 4 was? That was 135. So if 3 pi over 4 is 135, then negative 3 pi over 4 would be?
Negative 1.
There you go. So your homework is to get this nice and neat into where? Your journal.
Do we
Then you can use
print it out somewhere online?
If you want to cheat yourself of writing the numbers, by the way, the more you write the numbers down, the more you'll remember where they go. Okay?